Yes, y'all. What is up? What is up? What is up? May the force be with you, although it is not May yet. But we'll have some fun. You gotta turn that off in the background. I can hear it. Okay, let me see who's in the room today. Oh, my man, Gorilla with the super chats and the super stickers. Yo, yo, yo. My man, Gorilla Strong, always coming through. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Bananas, what's the deal? Bananas, the Machiavelli, Yeesh, what's up? Andrea, who else we got in here? I know I saw some other names in here. Come on, son. Mir Depp, I saw your name in there. Okay. We got. I think I got everybody's attendance card today so far. Yeah, I know, man. I forgot to take my damn allergy medicine. Yo, Stutters, we forgot the allergy medicine. It's fucking annoying. All right. How's everybody doing on this beautiful JD McFadden? What's the deal? Word up. I hear you. Let me pop some allergy medicine. It's gonna take a few to kick in, but that's the deal. All right, so let's get into the current, and then we'll get into the book report and have some fun. You know, I think one of you guys said that I should have like low breakbeats playing or something on the background. Yo, Stutters, we gotta look into that. Make a little soundtrack while I'm talking, just to have a little groove going on, a little chill groove underneath everything. Just, you know, something that I won't get flagged for, by the way, as well. So let's see if we could make that. Don't give me that look. Somebody else mentioned it. I thought it was a good idea. New day. What's going on? Thank you. Yes, let's first start it by saying that if this is your first time here, please do me a favor, like and subscribe. We do these twice a week now. I do Wednesdays at this hour, 6 p.m. on the West Coast, 9 p.m. on the East. I can't put and wait, I'll answer that in a second, Gorilla. And on Fridays we do 7 on the West, 10 on the East. Today, Wednesdays live from the lab is usually I have a little book report. I talk about different experiences in the music business with certain artists. I give you a little report on them. And then on Fridays, it's more of an open forum. We all just get together and chat and chill and have fun and whatever have you. So that's the deal. Oh, I see, Edwin. I called you New Day. I thought you was trying to be fly with it, but it's still fly either way. Yes, Edwin, working on a couple of shows for next year. So I'll have more announcements. Actually, I had a promoter reach out to me today, and so everything is being prepped. So let's see how it turns out. And like I said, I'll have announcements here and all the other apps and whatever have you. So thank you for that. Okay, what else? Now, I don't want to get into the book report yet. There's a couple of announcements first. So let me get over to this screen over here. All right. Damn, Stutters, you should have shown me how to do this. All right, first things first. First things first. As you see me wearing it, it's real. The very limited qunique tag shirts are now available on qunique.com. I'll show the website in a little bit, but what's going to happen is, thank you, Bananas. That was very dope. Very. Thank you, Bananas. I appreciate that. And I'll tell you the story of my first cipher in a second. Excuse the burp. So that's the deal. So what's going to be happening is I'm going to be doing runs of limited pressings. So this first one, the qunique tag shirt, that's going to be the first limited run we're only going to make a handful of them, and then we'll move into the next design, whatever that's going to be. On top of the fact, what's going on, Ja? What's the deal? On top of the fact that you still got the regular merch on the website as well. We'll visit that in a little bit. And don't forget, also new in the merch on the merch page. Let me get this ready for you guys. We're doing a bundle, a qunique poster bundle. You see here, you're gonna if you order these, you get them for $10. I signed both of them. They come in a poster tube, so there's no creases. And it's the Vengeance is Mine original poster and the Between Heaven and Hell original poster. These, it's very limited supply. I had to dig into into the archives to find a small roll of each. And so just so you know, they're not going to be around that long. And after these are gone, I plan to press up some mechanic posters because I love that artwork, and possibly the others as well. Royal Blood, Black Coffee, Medina Bridge, and the album that we'll be talking about in a little bit, Pound for Pound. So let me see what else I got. One more, and we'll definitely highlight this in a little bit, but there's one more little announcement for those. So don't forget, the new single, Put It in the Air, is now streaming everywhere, on every platform. I appreciate the support. And now it's also available on Bandcamp, and for the first time, you could purchase it straight off of qunique.com. So the choices have broadened for the audience, as they say. I don't know who they are, but they do say it, I think. Let me see, any more announcements? Let me make sure. Let me check my paperwork. So we talked about the new single. Please like and subscribe. I show you some of the new merch. I'm wearing the qunique tag shirt, very fly. Thank you. You guys have been starting, and I was going to announce that. Don't forget the super chats and the super stickers are up. I appreciate any donations. It helps keep qunique doing what qunique does, and I thank you greatly for your support. Your support means, we all in it together. You know what I mean? I don't take it lightly, and I thank you greatly. Thank you very much. We're gonna have other things going on, but now we're gonna get into the book report, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're gonna talk about this album here. This album is called Pound for Pound. This came out, I believe, 2023, and I want to just give you some of the thought process that came to be with this album, and why I did this album. What was the reason behind this? So I got my book report. I'm going to read some of my notes and wing some of it. So, all right, class, here we go. What's up, Goodfoot? What's the deal? All right, here we go. Pound for Pound. Pound for Pound is what I consider my crossroads album. What I mean by that is when my perspective on what I was doing musically was beginning to change drastically. I've mentioned this quite a few times, but since we're talking about this album, this is the album that before I decided to make it, I had a really deep discussion with my good friend Fieldy, who encouraged me to continue to go on the journey as qunique, because I was definitely in a place where I was probably overthinking it, and I had a lot of mixed emotions based on a lot of the past decisions that I made as far as my career is concerned. This is when I connected with Soul Spasm Records and began to reevaluate and clean up my catalog. So that's just the first paragraph. Let me embellish on that in a little bit. During COVID, I was doing a lot of Stillwell, the band Stillwell, one of the band projects that I have with Fieldy, who's bass player from Korn, and Wov was drummer from POD, and we had in total put out 4 albums, but during COVID, we really kicked it into high gear. We recorded damn near 100 videos, which included music videos and podcasts and even comedy sketches. We were doing anything. We was doing anything to make the time during COVID pass with a smile. And and during that time, I was writing. I was doing qunique stuff quietly, like just recording and working with different producers at the time. But mentally, I was just not in a good place, especially with qunique. I was having a hard time. And the root of the problem was that at a certain point, I wasn't, I kind of forgot my intention. And I found myself in a place where I was being influenced by the people around me more than I should have allowed it to be. Now, it's no one's fault but my own. It's no one's fault but my own, because the fact of the matter is that whoever I was influenced by at those times, they were already doing what they do. They were already moving with their own intention. And I think that, and this dates back. This dates back from a, like a little after Vengeance, like during the time that that I started writing Between Heaven and Hell, that I started feeling a little off about what I was doing. And I just let it, for some reason, it was like a little seed of thought, but I just kind of like ignored it and just kept on trucking, like just kept on moving forward almost on automatic pilot, and wasn't really paying attention to what my soul was telling me. So although there was, uh, I believe I released some really good tunes during that time, but there's also stuff about that time that I was disappointed in myself about. And so we'll continue on, and we'll get more to the bit. So here's the second paragraph here. Ah, thank you. Stutters for the calendar save. Did somebody help online? Or was that you? That was you. Thank you, Stutters. It was a moment of being disappointed in myself for letting what I was seeing or what I was possibly a part of here and there have way too much influence on the material that I was releasing. So basically, I was allowing the the people that were around me have a very heavy influence on my work, and I wasn't paying attention to the fact that as an artist, you got to make sure that you connect to your work. You know, you got to be careful of that line of being inspired by someone. You know, there was a question asked to me last week and the week before, and I think Gorilla asked, and somebody else had asked as well, how did I get my cadence, my flow, my tone? And I had said initially how mimicry started with KRS, Rakim, Nas, Wu-Tang, whatever, and then you move into your own place. But I found myself that I moved into my own place, and then I kind of like let go of my own personal control and just took from other people and just slapped it on my style. And it didn't work because my intentions, I what I intend to do in music has a certain quality to it. Not saying that I lacked any quality, but it has a certain way. I have a certain mission statement in my head for what I do, and I kind of lost sight basically, and so that's what happened. The first rap cipher, somebody just asked. Oh man, that would be very hard for me to remember. Um, Unfortunately, hmm. I can't remember, man. Like it's such I can remember certain key moments. I remember one time, this wasn't really a rap cipher. It was more like Crazy Legs was putting me down with Rocksteady, and there was this other MC that wanted to be on. So he made us go verse for verse. And I never met this guy, he never met me. But we were just going back and forth, drop a verse, drop a verse, drop a verse. So that's like an early version of like a mini cipher. And I know that Legs had filmed it. I just don't know if he still has it. It's very young qunique. Okay, anyway, let's get back to the book report and pound for pound. Thankfully, connecting with Soul Spasm Records gave me the chance to correct some of my past errors, and I found a little too difficult to move forward with. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what happened. And it starts with recently where a lot of people were kind of, not a lot, a few heads were kind of like tripping at the fact that I changed some of the lyrics on Vengeance is Mine. And this is what I'm talking about. So my main problem with where my catalog was to where it's at now is that at a certain point, and as I mentioned earlier, I was going on automatic pilot. And what happens is you're not putting your for me, I wasn't putting full soul into my work. It was just more like get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done. And when it turns into that for me, the quality starts to dip. Although there's a quantity happening, there's a quality dip. And so the first mistake for me personally, not for everybody. Now, I'm not speaking for any other artist but myself. My first mistake was getting involved with the mixtape era. It just, when I look back at it, it wasn't something. Later, Machiavelli. I'll see you Friday. Have a good day. That kind of I'm not that kind of an artist that just wants to drop random crazy verses over other people's beats and just chucking them out, chucking them out, chucking them out, chucking. It just didn't work for me. And so when I got with Soul Spasm, I told them how I wanted to clean up my catalog, how I wanted to take all the mixtapes down, go through the mixtapes, pick what I thought could become a song, reproduce it, remix it, whatever have you, and then put it up as a collection, which all of those mixtapes eventually became what is now online called the Legacy Series, Volumes 1 and 2. That's where I took what I believed worked out of all of the mixtapes that I dropped. And it helped me clean everything up. Because now it's just either my beats or someone else's beats. It's authentic music and it's song. You know, just to give you an idea of how way off I was and how distracted I was, there was a mixtape that I put out called Street Supreme. And the truth is, had I been more patient during that time, that particular mixtape would have been an album. And there's a producer that I've been friends with from London. His name is Quincy Tones, and he would have been the number one candidate to produce that album. So I missed the opportunity. I missed an opportunity to have something that would have came right after Between Heaven and Hell and would have been produced by somebody that's an amazing producer. So it's things like that that just you know, they drive you crazy and all of that. Oh, what's up, Imando? What's going on? Yes, sir. That award show was dope, man. Very dope. What Imando's talking about is that there was an award show, the Wake Up Show award ceremony here in LA, and I was able to. We were both able to go and watch Ken Swift receive an award, Large Professor, Supernatural. I know I'm missing names because it was like a long night of just, you know, excitement. And a lot of guest appearances. Rascass, the RZA was there. Geez, I can't even remember like half the people. Be Real showed up. It was an amazing event, And so, you know, thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Armando. Okay, getting back to the book report, pound for pound. And yes, Armando, it was dope. It was really, really, really dope. Thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot. Aside from Fieldy having this very deep conversation with me, he also asked to be a part of this album, which was an amazing gesture, especially because we've been friends for 20 years and we never really worked on a qunique album together. So I was excited about this. I produced every track and Fieldy played bass on every track, and Wav played drums on the first track. It's called Thank You. The Stillwell family was working together on a qunique album, and I thought that was a very cool way to start this new you know path for myself. I had my brothers that I just put out 2 albums during this COVID time. Obviously, there's 2 albums prior to that, and we've all been jamming together for years, and it just felt dope that they wanted to be a part of it, man. So really, really cool experience. All right, so the first track. Let's get into it. The first track is called "Thank You." It kind of covers the conversation that I had with Fieldy, and then moves on to other moments at that time that helped to shape this new path that I was about to embark on, including my own son telling me that I could never, ever stop being qunique. Like I had to ride it out to the very last day. I also like this song because it's 2 tracks. I produced 2 tracks to bring them together as one, almost like remember when Primo did Speak Your Cloud, or even let's go back in the days, like the Beatles would take bits and like they would take song parts and put them together and create one song. It was like that kind of like mentality that I went with producing this particular track. And so, as I had mentioned, Fieldy played bass on it, and then Wav is actually playing drums on that whole track, but I made him play E drums, a Roland kit, because I wanted to maintain a more, I guess, hip hop sonic, if you will. I didn't want to go totally analog or anything yet. I just felt that the time from the mechanic to pound for pound was there was a lot of time I had passed, so I just wanted to like not just jump in with live instrumentation. I wanted to keep it, as close to what I believe hip hop or my brand of hip hop production would be. So he played drums, but then it was through MIDI for those that understand what I'm talking about, and I was able to like EQ it to my liking. So that's what that first track, Thank You, how that was all put together. Okay. The second track is called I Believe It's Getting Better. And what makes this track cool, it's that it's almost like a part 2 to the setup from Vengeance is Mine. But what the difference is with this is that the chorus that I'm singing gives a more positive outlook, even though, like with the setup and with this song, I Believe It's Getting Better, the verses might be very dramatic and telling a very like rough story of my childhood and the things that I saw. But with I Believe It's Getting Better, as I mentioned, I wanted to make sure that the chorus gave hope to the listener this time, because the setup is a little more sullen. Even though I know that people love that song, including myself, I have to perform it almost every time I'm on stage, except for Kush Stock. I can't perform it there. But almost every time I'm on stage, and like I said, I just wanted to lighten the mood with the chorus on that one. So that's the deal. What's going on? Spoiled Seed, what's going on? Spoiled Seed, what's the deal? Okay. Now, let's get to the third track. The third track, man. Torch the Mall. This happens to be my favorite track for this album. For Pound, Torch the Mall is my favorite. I had a blast making this this song in particular. Now, the as far as the production credits for this one, my son actually co-produced this one with me. He found the samples, chopped it up, got the drums. Fieldy came in with a very sinister bass line. And this song, Torch the Mall, is now the blueprint for a lot of what I do, aside from storytelling or, you know, writing a song that has some sort of meaning to affect the emotions of the listener. Torch the Mall is also the prototype or the blueprint for a lot of the ways that I'll be moving forward, where I'm saying some fly shit, some gritty shit, some clever, witty shit. There's no more shock value. There's no more misogyny. There's none of that. None of that. I don't even want to approach none of that bullshit for myself. It's just, it doesn't work for me. And so I just want to make sure that I just when I did Torch the Mall, I wanted to make sure that if to introduce the listeners to how it was going to be. qunique is going to be that guy that's going to either say something real emotional that you and I could relate to, or something intellectual that we can think about and possibly either agree or debate, or I'm going to say some old fly street shit and be witty with it and clever with it and punchy with it, but not on the level like I had mentioned, not to extreme shock or misogyny, none of that. So that's the deal with that. That's why Torch Them All, aside from it being one of my favorite songs I've ever recorded in my career, it's the blueprint moving forward for a portion of what qunique would be doing. So that's the deal with Torch Them All. Okay, track number 4, Free. This is a more thought-provoking subject, the subject of freedom. What does it really mean? What does it mean as an individual, and what does it mean as a group of people? What does it mean mentally, and what does it mean spiritually? I also had fun using the word and the different ways you could bend it and twist it in certain points. So not only am I like aiming to give you something thought provoking and think about, but I'm also bending and still having a wordplay moment with the song as well. This was the only one out of all of them that I didn't appear in the video that I uploaded for this. I kept it on some like New York City crack era type visuals and all of that. But eventually, I think I have to do like a little. You know how I do those verse clips? Eventually, I think I have to do one of those for that, so we could have a little video visual of Q spitting that word. I gotta remember to use that for May 4th, right? Okay. Track number 5, Danger Room. That's another one of, again, like Torch Them All. Torch Them All, like I said, it set the bar. And Danger Room is a part of that qunique lyrical family. That's what Danger Room and Torch Them All are brothers. And so that what's crazy is I've been sitting on that beat for a minute, and there's been different variations of it, different features on it. But at the end of the day, when it came down to doing pound for pound, I cleared the slate. And this was one of the beats that I was definitely like, yo, I'm attacking this shit. And so again, it presents you with the qunique that's, like I said, it's gonna be on some street grime shit, witty shit, some fly shit. But again, never too extreme where I'm just saying shit just to say shit to get a reaction. But even at this point, it just, like, I don't want to keep on repeating myself, but you get the deal. Like, this is from that same basket as Torch Them All, and I think both of the beats, Torch Them All and Danger Room, I think they're, me personally, I love both beats, so that's the deal with that. Thank you, Spoiled Seed. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Good foot. What's the deal? Thank you, Mondo. That's what's up, Yeesh K. I love performing it. I love. I just love. It's that grime. I just love that grime. Okay, next. Track 6, Blackout. Again, from the same batch. That fly shit. This one I feel lyrically is a little more easier. I don't want to overly critique myself, but again, I put together a track that had that bounce, that type of sound that I like to spit on, and again, just random fly shit. Just that. This album was supposed to introduce thought provoking, which is thank you, and I believe it's getting better and free. But then the other four, we're gonna present to you the one of the main paths that I'd be going down, which is saying some old fly shit without sacrificing any of what I would consider my integrity. I'll talk some gun shit, I'll talk some street shit, as long as it just doesn't get so far where you're just looking at me like, are you serious? Which is why I changed so much in my catalog, because when I sat down and had to comb through all my shit to clean it up, there was a lot of times where I was looking at myself like, are you serious? You said that? So you get the point. Where we at? Oh, let me get out of there. Word. Okay. Okay. Track number 7, Knievel Reeves. Again, that old fly shit, that old grime shit. This one, what's cool about this one is that none of those are samples. That I played all of that shit on the keyboards, and Fieldy played. He sprinkled the bass in between certain parts of the tracks, so we had a lot of fun putting that together, and that was because I set it off the last car of the Brooklyn bound B train. It was to give you that late night vibe. Whenever I would come home from a club late night in Brooklyn and I'd be in the last car, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you from New York, you know what that shit is like. Late night on the train is a very, I don't want to, it's not scary, but you're kind of like on your toes a little bit in the back of your mind. And then when you come out the tunnel, you're looking at the city, or in my case, you're looking at Brooklyn at night. You're looking at all the buildings, and it's almost like Gotham City type shit. You know what I mean? Like that new Batman movie with homie from the vampire movies. I can't remember homie's name. No disrespect. But you know what I mean, like that really gothic feeling. And so that's what I wanted to convey with Knievel Reeves. So that's to deal with that. But I want to say something about the title. This is a funny story, man. So Knievel Reeves, check it out. So my pops, you know, I spoke about my pops. I've rhymed about him. You know, it definitely painted a picture of one of the most illest villains of my whole life. But we are on better terms. Anyway, that's for another episode. So one day I'd call my pops, and we were just, you know, catching up, shooting the shit. And usually when I call my pops, we'll talk to each other about different movies. You know, yo, did you see, you know, like when you talk to somebody, Pattis, that's it. Thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. That's the Batman movie I'm talking about. That Knievel Reeves, I feel like, is a part of that vibe. Anyway, so me and my pops, we would be talking about movies, right? Like, you know, when you call somebody, yo, did you see this flick? Yo, did you see this series? Whatever have you. So I told him to watch some shit, and he goes, so this prepare you. Well, I don't want to get too carried away. Y'all might not find it funny. I found it every time I tell this story, I get laughs. So yeah. So my pops goes, hey yo, did you see that new John Wick flick? I was like, nah, I didn't get to see it yet. He was like, yo, you gotta see it, yo. That dude, that dude Knievel Reeves, he is the truth. Homie said Knievel Reeves. Hey, yo, I didn't even correct him, son. I didn't even go with the whole Keanu Reeves. I didn't say shit. I was like, word, Knievel Reeves. And then, but I thought this shit was so funny, but so fly that I took it as one of my aliases. I was like, from now on, I'm fucking Knievel Reeves, son. That's it. So when you see me, I'm qunique, capital Q, Q capital, Q DeVita, and Knievel Reeves. Word Nasty Ruckus, you gotta tell me what album that is, man. I'm curious, man. For reals. So that's how Knievel Reeves was titled. Now you understand the whole thing about Knievel Reeves and where it's rooted in. It's rooted in my pops' slip up, but I felt like the name was so fly. I was like, I'm keeping that, man. That's dope. Okay, so here's my final paragraph of this book report. Oh, gutter trash. That was hold up, don't say. Was that the that was the was I remember I gave him something about connivers or something, I think. New York Crime Wave. That's the shit. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes. Spoiled Seed, did you send it through Instagram or something? You gotta let me know how you sent it. Um, here's another paragraph about Pound for Pound, peep it. Another fact about this album that really didn't go over the way I wanted it to, but I definitely was pushing the agenda for this album and my other album, Royal Blood. These albums were supposed to be a part of this concept that I had called the 7 series, where every album would only have 7 songs on it. The reason why I wanted to do this was I always felt that the Nation of Islam and the 5% Nation of Islam always had a place in hip hop. And when they had a real dominant place in hip hop. I felt that there was a really good balance to what it was that we were doing. It brought consciousness and it brought a certain way of looking at life by making sure that we looked at something from all angles and analyzed and looked for the facts and became truth seekers at one point. I feel that when you look at hip hop today and the element, I feel that when you look at hip hop today, the element doesn't seem to be as dominant as it once was. And you could see it, according to my own opinion, that a certain balance is lost. And if you really, what's up, John Milburn? If you really peep it, like I'm saying, if you look at the era that we're most in love with, from the crack era to the golden era in the 90s and all of that, the 5% Nation of Islam was definitely in our view. And a lot of lyrics were inspired and influenced from the Brand Nubians, Rakim, Kane, Lakin, Shabazz, Paris, certain parts of Public Enemy. The list goes on, and Grand Poobah, like the list goes on and on and on. And I feel that when that element was pulled away, the scales went like this. And it was like they pulled some of that element away and just replaced it with money and being rich and famous. And all of a sudden, everybody's a business entrepreneur. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a point that I got caught up in all of that shit, and you just don't know what you're looking at. And like I said, being on automatic pilot, like so many other lyricists, you just don't know what you're even looking at anymore. And that's why I had that crossroad, and that's why I had to do this album Pound for Pound. I had to redefine what it was that what I wanted to do, and I had to get back to my intention and make sure that the dignity and the intentions stood stood and not get distracted by anyone else's way of doing this. But even for me, although I am not a member of the Nation of Islam or anything, but even for me, as somebody that's been around, I know their impact on hip hop in particular, and I know that it's missing. You know, it's a piece that's missing. Whether you agree with it or not, if you think about the music that you really love from this, a lot of it is inspired by the Nation of Islam. Period. It's just, I'm not trying to sell y'all on the Nation of Islam itself or religious beliefs, but I'm just looking at hip hop and the certain pieces that made it to what we loved. Now, that's it. That's just one thing that I saw. And that's why I did this whole 7 series thing. So thank you, John Milburn. Exactly. That's dope, Spoil Seed. But it'll probably be better if you send it, Spoil Seed. It'll probably be better if you could send, if you could DM it to me if you want me to really read it. Go on Instagram, or yeah, Instagram is the best. I really don't check a lot of the other, maybe TikTok, but that's it. So if you could do that, that'd be dope. But anyway, getting back to this. So as you can see, when I approached this Pound for Pound album, I there was a lot going on. It wasn't like I knew that I was coming out of this funk and that I was about to put my first step down, which was going to be Pound for Pound. And then it would follow with the Legacy series, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And then it would go into the Royal Blood joint. And then it would go into all of these singles that are out, which is now, excuse me, leading us to next year for the qunique Rhythmatic album. So it all fell into place perfectly for me. Like, it just like, I'm excited because I feel refreshed. And the one of the biggest parts of this is that y'all, like, us doing these live feeds is definitely like helping to shape my future steps, because now I'm talking to a lot of y'all and I'm seeing what you like, what you know, what hits. You know, I'm taking a lot of your comments for face value. So when I'm putting out these new strings of releases, you guys represent the listening party. And so every time I drop something and we do these live feeds and y'all say what y'all say, I'm taking that. And as you can see now, I'm in a better place and I'm excited for next year, especially with the whole Rhythmatic qunique album. And then there's another album to follow, but I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I'm very excited about the qunique Rhythmatic album. So, and I'm very happy that we were able to just get into this, because I've been wanting to talk about Pound for Pound for a minute. And that is my report on Pound for today, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Thank you, Gorilla. Thank you. The Brand Nubians, that's a good question, because they start during the crack era as artists, but I think their album didn't hit till the 90s. I'm not sure the major date. So I would put them as 90s, but their legacy starts before that, especially Grand Poobah, because he was in the Masters of Ceremony. So that's the deal. Thank you, Gorilla Strong. Salute to you, Armando, for real. Spoiled Seed. Um, there are no arsonist shows. I mean, I'll be going on tour soon. You know, we're already looking into dates for next year. And so just stay tuned for that. And thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I have a little surprise for y'all today. Let me get this book report over here. Let me see if there's any more. Yep. Okay. Since I ran out of I ran out of MTV cards to open. How you like that shirt, son? Let me see. So it's the qunique tag shirt. It's limited. These are limited. You go to let me see if I could all right, let's do this real quick. Thank you. Here we are, we're on qunique.com. Over here we go to the shop. On your phone, there'll be like three white lines, and you just click on those white lines, you hit the shop right there. Boom. And there's the shirt. There's the poster bundle. You got the CD sale bundle, 2 CDs for $10. Everything comes signed and all of that stuff. If you order the poster bundle, like I said, it comes in a poster tube, so there's no creases. But if you don't order the posters, you do get a Between Heaven and Hell poster if you order the CD bundle. So there's a lot of cool incentives, some stickers and all of that cool stuff. But there's the qunique limited tag shirt. You also have a couple of more Vengeance is Mine 20th anniversary challenge coins, arsonist pins, and all of that. And the CDs are also on sale. As I said earlier, you can now buy Put It in the Air off of qunique.com, and then the rest of the merch for you guys to check out is on the site, all the different shirts and hoodies and tote bags, and even stuff that's available on Amazon. So that is the deal with that. Okay, so that's what's up. No doubt, Spoil Seed, that's what's up. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Gorilla. I appreciate that. Oh, man. Okay, so I got a box in the mail, says qunique, and it's from Super 7. Now, you see in the back, I got my Dimebag Darrell joint, Dio, Agnostic Front, Joe Strummer from The Clash, the White Stripes, and then over there, I have KRS, Eric B. and Rakim, Bismarck. So, and I got more saved. I love Super 7. I love what they do for music. I think that I haven't been this happy about people releasing figures in my entire life. And thank you, Gorilla. And I love that it's about music. So here's the deal. Yes, John Milburn, I definitely will. So here we go. We're gonna unbox this. I'm gonna surprise you. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I opened, but check out what I'm gonna unbox with. Crazy Legs went to Japan way, way, way back in the days, and he brought me back this little like samurai joint. So I take the sword out. I'm gonna cut open the box. Try not to cut my arm. Probably be good if I cut myself on YouTube, right? Boom, son. All right, let me put the samurai sword back. Gonna open that. I am oh my God, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Here we go. Can I kick it? Can I kick it? Look at that, baby boy. A Tribe Called Quest action figure set. Tell me this shit ain't fucking fly, son. Look at that. Super 7, son. Look at this. Look at this. Fife, Q-Tip, Ali, and Jerobi. This is so amazing. Super 7 killed it. Killed it. Look at that. Tell me that ain't the flyest. Their first album, People's Instinctive Travels and the Paths of Rhythm. This is amazing. This will be on my wall. I am so happy, man. Salute to A Tribe Called Quest. So much love to them. I happened to be on my homie Apathy show earlier this week, and I brought up A Tribe Called Quest, and I strongly believe, yeah, the packaging is sick. I got to show it off again, man. Look at that, man. Look at that. That's amazing. That is amazing. My goodness, man. This is exciting. I was talking about a tribe. Actually, if you guys remember, I was talking about tribe a couple of episodes ago, or last episode. I was talking about my experience with tribe, and so it's kind of dope that this came in at this time. Uh, I believe that A Tribe Called Quest needs a new documentary. I believe that A Tribe Called Quest is one of the most important groups to ever exist. What they did and how they changed things when they released their first album, their first, just everything that they've done, the way they made beats, the way they rhymed, the whole vibe, the jazz, hip hop, everything. And so I just feel that Tribe, De La, Jungle Brothers, just native tongues in particular, they just need a very well put together documentary. They're just so important and so loved, and we all understand that. So salute, 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 salute to the native tongues. And once again, Super 7 has released the Tribe Called Quest figure set, and this is amazing, man. Thank you, Super 7, for everything you're doing, man. Just turning all of our artists into superheroes, man. To me, this is like a badge of honor. I don't know but if I ever find myself as a Super 7 release one day, that shit'll be amazing, man. That's just amazing, just amazing, yo. Let me see what else we got. Let me make sure I'm good on everything. All right, we went over all the new merch. We talked about Pound for Pound. Told y'all next year the new qunique Rhythmatic album's coming out. Also, for those that are into what I do with Mother Fuzz will be back and in full swing starting in January. Please, again, if you're here for the first time, please like and subscribe and hit that notification button, so that way you're always here with us and hanging. Our community is one of the best communities on this whole platform. We have a great time here. This is a drama-free zone. This is all about us just spreading love for this culture that we love, and just, loving on each other at the same time. So that's the deal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go into the booth. We are going to the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this ready. Stutters, I could just press number 2. Right. But I could press this now. Join me in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. One, two. Check. 1, 2. We're gonna try to get this right. My man Bruce Lee. Word up. It's time to plug in the newness. Again, no. Single called Put It in the Air, now streaming everywhere. So please make sure you throw it on your playlist, hit the like, spread the word. Thank you for spreading the word. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Much love to y'all. Y'all have a dope evening, and I will see you on Friday. Friday Vibes with Q. Much love to y'all. Peace.